Hey, what is going on, guys? Yaniv here, and welcome back to another video. As you can see, in the past couple videos, I have been in this new, place. This is my new home that I moved into about like 2 weeks ago. I didn't really mention it, but that's not the point of this video. I wanted to tell you guys about a really bumpy journey, a really bumpy part in my Amazon journey, and how I dealt with it and what it was. I haven't really shared this before in the past, but I will today. All right, so story time with me today. Hopefully it's not too echoey in this room. If it is, I'm sorry guys, but this story is definitely gonna be worth it. This story is pretty much about a time in my Amazon journey when, again, nothing was certain and I had only a couple products out and my main product got suspended on Amazon. So it was removed from the Amazon catalogs. I had no idea how to get it back up. It was my first situation with something like this, and I was pretty shook because, as you can expect, a product that was making me probably around six figures, a year on its own, had been taken off Amazon. So when you only have a couple products out, it's a pretty big deal. Obviously, I had expenses and I had stuff like that out also that I needed to pay, credit card bills, etc., etc. It was a pretty big shock to the system. So I want to tell you guys about that part, that whole story, and about how I actually went about fixing this whole situation. And if this has happened to some of you guys out there, what you guys have to do to get it resolved. So as you guys know, Amazon does have products that they don't allow to be sold on Amazon. So restricted products, restricted categories, restricted, just stuff like that. And like I always say in the videos, you guys have to make sure that your products that you're going into are not restricted, okay? Now, my product was not actually restricted. Okay, what actually ended up happening is Amazon does not have the manpower to be able to go about and look at every single listing that has ever been created on Amazon, ever will be created on Amazon, and actually be like, have a person manually inspect every single listing. It doesn't work that way. So what they have is they have algorithms to pick up keywords, pick up different stuff like that ends up relating to restricted products on Amazon. So if your product or in your keywords or somewhere you have something that for some reason the algorithm has picked up, it will catch it and it will remove your listing. The way the world works is innocent until proven guilty, but that's not how Amazon works, right? They're very cutthroat with their stuff. If they think you're doing something wrong and they think you're not supposed to be doing whatever it is you're doing, they will first take action and then they will look for answers, because it makes sense on a company that size. They're not going to risk anything with you, right? You're not worth their time. You're not worth the money for them to actually risk this being something that shouldn't be sold, right? So I understood that fact, but it was, again, very scary. So like I said, pretty much I was selling the product, it was selling very well, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, the product got removed from the catalogs. I didn't know what to do, so again, first thing I did was I went online and I started scouring, how could this be? What did I do wrong? Blah, 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 blah. Not many answers were found there except for the fact about the restricted product. I went back and I looked at my product and I read the restricted product and it was not even close to the same thing. But for some reason, the algorithm picked it up and it had given me that, email saying that it was a restricted product, whatever. So what I did was I called Amazon, right? A lot of you guys, when you have questions or when you have problems, you guys don't actually end up calling Amazon. Amazon has one of the best customer services in the whole world. One thing you guys may not know is they also have one of the best, well, not one of the best, but they have a pretty helpful seller customer service, like seller central service, right? So for pizza sellers, if they have problems, you can call them and they pick up really quickly and you get answers pretty quickly. And sometimes they will send you around loops, but for the most part, eventually the problem will be fixed. It might take a month, it might take 2 months, but eventually it will be done. I wasn't sure though if my product would or my listing would get reinstated, because I wasn't sure why it got taken down in the first place. And at this point I was pretty scared about the fact that I was going to lose this product. And not only a product that was making me a ton of money, I had so much inventory in that product because it was doing well that losing that inventory would have costed me a fortune as well, right? That was an investment on my part that I was expecting a return on. So I had a ton of units left there, maybe like 1,500 units, something along those lines, that I didn't that I needed to sell out of. So it was kind of a similar situation that I had to the one time where my product I've had actually a couple of problems while I was selling. There was one time also when my product was patented, and I lost a ton of money that way too. If you guys want to see that video, it was click up there, I think, or up here, one of these places. You'll see it come up. It's about a product, a patented product that I was selling by accident. So if you guys think that I just kind of got lucky and kind of strolled my way into being successful on Amazon, watch those two videos, watch that video, watch this video, and then rethink what your decision is, because when you work hard, you're gonna come up with a lot of failures, and whenever you're doing any entrepreneurial stuff, you're gonna come with a ton of obstacles in your way. The thing that I have realized is every single person who overcomes those obstacles and actually keeps going will be successful. That's not just in Amazon, that's just in general in life. When you do, what I realized is a person is as successful as the amount of obstacles that they went through. So the amount of obstacles you go through in life is proportionate to the amount of success you have in life. If you've never gone through any obstacles, if you've never had any struggles, if you've never had any problems that you have to deal with, you're probably not very successful, right? You probably don't have something to write home about. So that's what I noticed with my Amazon journey, with the Amazon journey of my seller friends, and with just life in general, with my life experience and my entrepreneurial experience. You need to go through that struggle. You need to go through that failure and those obstacles, because if you don't, you're not going to see any real success. And if you have seen real success without having any obstacles, then you're a very, very lucky person. But I guarantee you will come across obstacles eventually in your life. So you got to be prepared for that. So basically, I called them. I ended up talking to them on the phone. I probably went through like 15 different representatives at one point to try to get my product, recovered and put it back on the Amazon catalogs, because at this point I was just accepting my fate that my product was going to be down. But guys, luckily my product was reinstated. It was reinstated after I think a month and a half. It was reinstated, and then it was actually back to selling better than ever. A lot of the times though, when your product is taken down off of the catalogs, your BSR rank goes down. So luckily, all I had to do was restart my PPC campaigns, and everything was pretty good from there. So it wasn't a huge, terrible disappointment of a story, but it pretty much, it's just to show you guys that any success you're going to see in life is going to come with obstacles, and you're going to have to overcome those obstacles to get to those successes. And another thing, I don't remember where I read this, but it was something along the lines of like, most people quit right before their biggest success. Because there's usually one big failure before your biggest success. So I probably butchered that completely, but it was something along those lines. So that's pretty much that, guys. I just want to let you guys know, if you guys have a problem and you guys have something that, something like this, something along these lines, that your product got suspended or whatever, there's a really easy way that I didn't know about before, was just to create the listing. And when you create the listing, just have a bunch of the keywords that you use, right? All the main keywords that you think you would use. Put that in the title, put that in the description, in the product features, and just wait a week, 2 weeks, and eventually, if it is a restricted product, it will be taken down by Amazon. They're really good with their computer algorithms to take it down. So if that ever does happen, before you invest in the product, create the listing. Wait for 2 weeks or 1 or 2 weeks, and within that time, you will definitely be removed if you are selling a restricted product. If not, if your listing is still up after 1 to 2 weeks, then you're good to go and go ahead and order that product and bring it in under that listing. So that's just a really quick and easy tip that would have really helped me at one point. So if you guys are, again, in a situation like this, and if you do have a product that is, has been taken down off the catalogs, I suggest just keep calling Amazon. Some of the representatives are going to be useless. Some of them are going to be very useful, and eventually you'll find somebody that can help you with this problem. And don't expect it to be solved overnight, because I can guarantee you it will take a very long time, probably like a month of constant calling, constant waiting, constant stress and stuff. But eventually it will hopefully work out for you. It has worked out for me, and I've never had that problem ever since, because once they realize that your listing is actually not supposed to be restricted, you will not be taken down again. Once you got your approval to sell from the higher ups of Amazon, Jeff Bezos and all those guys. No, I'm kidding. Jeff Bezos obviously doesn't see that, but once you do get your acceptance, you will be fine to sell that product for the foreseeable future. So that's pretty much my story of how I overcame a pretty big obstacle in my life. This was earlier in my Amazon journey. This was a couple months after my patented product fiasco. So it was difficult, because that was two big punches in the gut that kind of set me back, but then actually ended up helping me and help me grow as a person and help me grow as an Amazon seller. And actually, every time you go through something like that, you really learn the system, the Amazon system, a lot better, and you get the experience that you need to become one of the top Amazon sellers. So I take that experience with me, and I take that experience as hard as it might have been at the time. It is actually very helpful experience, and I hope to actually be able to help you guys. So maybe you guys don't actually have to go through that stuff, but you guys can just watch my videos and kind of learn indirectly from my mistakes and my struggles. Because like I said in one of my other videos, it was like a quote. I don't remember who said it. Maybe it was Warren Buffett or something. It was like, you can learn from your own mistakes, or you can learn from the mistakes of people who have already been there and who have already done those. So hopefully I can be that guy for you guys, and hopefully you guys don't go through the same issues and the same problems that I did. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe, leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think. And remember to hit the notification bell, because you will see when I go live. I'm planning some live videos soon. You'll see when I go live. And also, so you get notifications every time I post a video, so you're never late to the party. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for today. And I'll see you guys next time.